Today we're making sour cream and Sprite biscuits. The ingredients needed are half a stick of butter melted, 4 cups of white lily all-purpose flour, 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, 1 8-ounce block of cream cheese, and a cup and a half of Sprite. To that bowl of flour, we're going to add in 1/4 cup of sugar. We're going to mix that together, and then we're going to go in and dice up the block of cream cheese. That way it's easy to kind of crumble up inside of it. After getting the cream cheese diced up, we're going to drop it into the flour, and we're going to use the back of the fork and press the flour into the cream cheese. And we're just going to do that until it kind of mimics like a sand texture. And it may take a little while. I did speed up this video, but it did take a couple minutes to get it fully incorporated. But you really want to get this cream cheese fully incorporated, or else you're going to have big lumps of cream cheese throughout your biscuit, and that's not really desirable. It's not bad, but it's not really desirable. You kind of want it to dissolve into the flour to get this really good moist textured biscuit. Now it's time to add the Sprite. I started with a cup of Sprite. I'm going to pour in a little at a time, taking the flour from around the edges and putting it into the middle where I poured the Sprite. I'm going to get that fully saturated, and then I'm going to add some more. Now you're going to see I'm going to add some more, but you're going to see the texture that I stopped at. What I do is I make sure that every piece of flour gets picked up by the liquid. So you're going to see me rake the flour from the sides into the middle, into the center where the moisture is, and I want to get as much of it coated as I can before I add more liquid. I don't want it to be super wet. I just want it to be moist. I do want every piece of flour coated, so I don't want any crumblies or anything. I want it completely moistened but not wet. You'll see the texture that I stop at before I get ready to roll it out. Notice how I'm not stirring. I am gently pushing the dough side to side, kind of going through it but not really giving it a stir. Once you have every piece of flour coated and every piece of flour is moistened and it's kind of stuck together in this ball, now it is time to roll it out. Slightly flour whatever surface you're going to roll out your biscuits on, and empty your bowl onto the floured surface. After you get it all out on your floured surface, add a little flour to the top of your dough, and also add some to your hands so that it's not sticky when you go to pat out your dough. So begin gathering your dough all in a circle, ball, however you want to call it. Gather it all, pat it out, and give it a couple folds. I believe I folded this dough 3 times, and you kind of want it in a rectangle shape or a square shape. I try to keep it fairly uniform. I press it until it's about 1 inch thick. Now be gentle when you're pressing, and be gentle when you're folding as well. You don't want any tough biscuits. Now you can press it out taller than 1 inch or shorter than 1 inch. At the end of the day, the biscuit is going to rise. It just depends on how tall you want your biscuits. Using a biscuit cutter, you're going to sit it in flour just like you see me doing. I'm going to press down on the dough and come straight back up. I'm not going to do any twisting motion. Just press down and come up. Make sure your biscuit cutter is floured for easy cutting, and that makes it easy for you to get your biscuits. Melt a half a stick of butter and pour it into a pan. I honestly believe that I did a whole stick of butter, but you can really do half a stick of butter. Pour it into the pan and sit your biscuits directly into the butter. We're going to bake these in the oven at 450 degrees for 10 to 12 minutes. After I get these in the oven, I'm going to take the rest of the dough, gather it back together, fold it a couple more times, and I'm going to press out the rest of the biscuits. Now what you can do for the rest of the biscuits that are left over is put them in the freezer. They bake directly from freezer to oven perfectly. I'm telling you, just trust me and trust the process. And if you also want to do this ahead of time, say if you're not going to eat biscuits this day, or you prepping biscuits for a brunch or a breakfast or something like that, make these biscuits ahead of time and put them in the freezer. Once you freeze them on, I normally do like a parchment paper and stick them in the freezer to freeze. I freeze them until they're hard and get them put in a Ziploc bag and put them back in the freezer to store until you're ready to eat them. Now that my work area is all clean, I'm going to grab this vanilla bean infused maple syrup that I got from Costco. I'm going to melt about 2 tablespoons of butter, pour in this maple syrup, and mix it until it is well combined. I'm going to take my biscuits out the oven after 12 minutes, and I'm going to brush this mixture on top of the biscuit. Then place the biscuits back in the oven for 2 minutes to get the perfect glaze. After we take them back out the oven, we're going to brush the remaining mixture on the top of the biscuits again. And just trust me on this. Like, trust the process. You want the best biscuits, like, trust me. And you don't have to use the vanilla bean maple infused syrup. You can use regular syrup. Like, you can use whatever, your favorite biscuit syrup. Just mix it with a little butter and add it on top. And trust me, enjoy. Like, truly enjoy. Look at how big, soft, and fluffy this biscuit is. Whew, they out of there.